Lawyers for Jimena Arias Cristobal say she will be pursuing a path to citizenship, but tonight we're digging deeper into her life prior to being detained by ICE. Good evening, I'm Latricia Thomas.
And I'm Joshua. The 19-year-old college student was detained by ICE following a traffic stop in Dalton. The police later determined their officer pulled over the wrong vehicle, and though she was driving without a legal license, they dropped the charges. She remained in custody though until a judge granted her bond.
Just weeks earlier, her father, who owns a construction business in Dalton, had also been stopped for speeding and was also detained by ICE. Now, with both released from that custody, new questions surround how they and other migrants who have entered the U.S. illegally are able to build a life and business without that proper documentation.
News Channel 9's Mary Beth Mangrum looked into the guidelines that are currently in place. Mary Beth.
Josh, Latricia, Arias Cristobal and her family have spent 15 years in Dalton building a life they say they don't want to leave behind. We're learning that aspects of their lives, like her father's construction company and her education, didn't require the documentation their attorneys say they tried to get.
There was nothing that they could do to come out of the shadows and become official members of this country that they love. It just wasn't a possibility.
That's 19-year-old Jimena Arias Cristobal's attorney, who claimed both the teenager and her father tried to become legal citizens.
Intenté varios años. Tuve citas, pagué dinero con abogados para preguntar si podía arreglar mi situación y todos me decían que no, que tenía que esperar a que cambiaran las leyes de inmigración.
But without that, what would their life in Dalton look like? During a Tuesday press conference, Arias Cristobal spoke about her plans to go back to Dalton State.
I have to speak to the president of Dalton State, and they will allow me to take my finals that I wasn't able to take because I got arrested.
Dalton State tells us their students do not have to provide a social security number and lists one of their enrollment requirements as verification of lawful presence only if paying in-state tuition. But both her family and Arias Cristobal's attorney confirmed to us her family paid out-of-state tuition. We also know Arias Cristobal graduated from Dalton High School. Dalton Public Schools and Whitfield County Schools both permit guardians to sign a waiver if they cannot provide a social security number for their student.
There was nothing that Jose and Jimena could have done before now to get any type of lawful status. They tried. They met with attorneys. They reviewed their case, their options, whether it be through Jose's business, through the fact that he has U.S. citizen children.
This LLC paperwork shows her father, Jose Francisco Arias Tovar, registered that company with the Georgia Secretary of State's office. And a spokesperson tells us there are no citizenship requirements when starting an LLC in the state. In Georgia, a law passed in 2008 requiring legal documentation to receive a valid driver's license.
Go ahead and turn it off for me. You have to go to jail by the state of Georgia.
A spokesperson for the Georgia Department of Revenue tells us there's no state law requiring a license for car insurance, and that is decided by company policy. But he did say that residents must have a license to title and register their vehicles in the state. In a phone call, Arias Cristobal's attorney tells us both she and her father would have been ticketed if they did not have insurance during their separate traffic stops. Arias Cristobal's attorney said at last night's press conference that if she is found to be a victim of a false arrest, it could allow her and her family to receive U visa protections. They tell us that's currently still under investigation. The officer who arrested her has since resigned. Latricia?
Mary Beth, thank you. There is currently no immigration hearing scheduled for Jimena or her father. Her attorney says immigration court is so backed up, it could be 2026 before one is set.